Yes, people, welcome back to the studio. In today's video, we'll be continuing with starting to use Ableton. This video, again, is for those who have just bought it or who are new beginners and they're trying to just get going, trying to navigate the software and just figure out the very fundamentals of making music on Ableton. So in this video, I'm going to be running through exactly what MIDI and audio is. Have a look at the video before for getting started, but this is the next step forward where I'll be showing you some various examples and explaining exactly what MIDI and audio is. So let's get stuck in. So as you can see, I've opened up Ableton and I've been welcomed with the session view. So from the first video, you'll know that I don't use session view to produce. I actually use arrangement view. So if you just click arrangement view, we can have a look at what we're working with. So you've got the space to make music. You've got these channels. These are the areas I'm going to be focusing on today. So you've got yourself MIDI channels and audio channels. So you're first thinking, what exactly does any of this mean? So to break it down, a MIDI is basically a sketch pad, or as someone put it, I read it earlier. Yeah, it's digital sheet music. So essentially, in this space in your MIDI channel, what you'll be doing is you're choosing a sound or an instrument, and then you'll be drawing out where the instrument or the sound will be triggered or where the notes will be played across the track. So what I'm going to do is, just to begin with, I'm going to show you where you can add and take away MIDI channels. So if you go to the top, create, insert MIDI track, or there's the shortcuts here, Command, Shift and T. So I'm just going to insert a MIDI track. So in order to draw something in this MIDI, to draw in the track where I want to start adding notes, I'm basically gonna hold the mouse and drag across from numbers 1 to 8 or 1 to 9, and I'm gonna press Command, Shift, Command and M for MIDI. So you can see this pink box has popped up. This essentially is now a space where we can add notes or add blocks of MIDI using say a sound we've got. So let's just make a MIDI, for example. If I wanted to make, so I'm going to my library, which in the video before, this has all the sounds that you're going to be using. Sounds. And I want to start with a lead. Okay, so this vibrato wow I'm going to be using. I've double clicked on the instrument and now that's loaded in to my MIDI track. You can see it's loaded in because if you drag it out, you can see it says wow vibrato. So in order to start drawing on this MIDI, on this kind of pink block we've created, if you double click on the block, you'll see this piano pop up down here. What you want to do is just make it a bit bigger, and you can see this space below right here is where you'll be drawing the notes that you want to hear. So if we just click on this little headphone slot, these are all the different notes along this kind of not imaginary keyboard, but imagine like a piano, and you've got the lowest note at the bottom, and as you go further up, it gets higher. So most times when you're making MIDI, the middle or the beginning point is C3. That's just where a lot of samples will, when you try to preview them and you hear them, you say, oh, that sounds cool. If you go to C3, that's usually the same sound you've just listened to. So, okay, let's just take this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just double click in a few boxes. And you can see that I've drawn the sound along this pink box we've made. So this is the MIDI, essentially, these little pink blocks I'm drawing. I'm drawing almost a sound for the computer to follow with the sample that's in the MIDI channel, so it will make a noise. So that's pretty much what MIDI is. It's you're finding a sound, you're finding a sample, and you're loading it in to the channel. And then within the channel, you're going to be drawing this box, usually sticking with a box the size of 1 to 8 bars. And on this piano, you're just going to be double clicking in various spots to find where you want the MIDI to be played. And to make sure you keep stuff in time, if you go to this at the top, a metronome, click it. This helps you keep in line with the speed of the track. So I haven't moved it, it's still at 120, but if I move it to 128. So there you go. Very simple, quick and easy description of MIDIs. So let's go to, so we've got MIDI. What's audio? So audio is a bit different. Audio is where you'll be using, if you've got samples, if you've got vocal samples, you'll be dropping any sample into these audio, and you'll be able to see exactly what the file looks like. So let's just have a look at what I've got. Sample packs, here we go. Female vocal. I'm going to drag and drop it into the channel. What I'm going to do now as another little thing is these buttons on the side here are basically track activators. So if you want to hear them, you keep them yellow or orange, and if you don't want to hear them, you click them again and they turn off. So now, because we're focusing on the audio for this one, I'm going to turn off this one so we can hear it properly. So as you can see, I've dropped the audio in. You can see it on here, the name's changed of the audio channel. It's now named after this female vocal. And you can see the big difference between the MIDI and the audio is the MIDI is little blocks, and the audio, you can actually see the wave. You can see it if you drag this up and zoom in. So again, the difference between the audio and the MIDI is the audio, when you drag stuff in, the sample's usually already made. You're not telling the computer, like the MIDI, when to trigger a note or when to trigger a sound or an instrument. The audio has already been done for you. That's when you go in with the audio and you want to change it. You can chop it up, you can reverse it, you can do all sorts. But just for the sakes of this video, you can see very clearly what the two differences between MIDI and audio are. So I think with regards to exactly what they are, I've pretty much covered that. What I'd suggest is, if you are at this beginner stage, just open up Ableton and get used to doing very simple things. So go into the create section at the top and add in MIDI tracks, add in audio tracks, and just mess about with how far you can go. Stick within the first 1 to 8 bars. Remember, when you're with MIDI, in order to build a MIDI channel to draw in, you press Shift, Command and M, or you hold and highlight the space you want to be making, press Control, and then you can press Insert Empty MIDI Clip, and there you go. This is then when you pull the piano up, you've loaded your sound in. We've got the wow vibrato, and you can't hear it because I haven't turned it back on. So to turn it on, make sure this number is right, and then you can just get drawing the sound, see where you want it to go. And the audio, again, you can't see if you try to drag and make any sort of MIDI clip on this one, you can't. because it's waiting for you to drop a sample in. And a sample, again, is one that you can actually see what it looks like, the wavelengths. So there we go, very quick stop on this video. Just get experimenting with the audio and MIDI. If you've got any questions or feedback on how you think these beginners videos are going, please do let me know, because I would love to hear, and it will only help me improve the content for the next video. So enjoy, that's all.